Hi, John.
Hey, Alex.
Do you know what I hate?
What is that?
I hate that we didn't get to see this movie starring Snoop Dogg.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to read you the list. Wesley Snipes, Cuba Gooding Jr., Snoop Dogg, Tony Todd, Alan Payne, Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, Ving Rhames, Tupac Shakur, LL Cool J, and Will Smith were each originally considered for the role of Al Simmons / Spawn.
Hell's fine, you got a job to do. You made a deal with the devil, now it's time to move. You can build Hell's army and pay your dues. Or I'll make a little visit to your lady, choose. And I violate, I'm the violator. You can battle hate, but I'll make it greater. I'll annihilate Hell's gladiator. Short, fat, but I murder like the Terminator.
So here's my thing with those kind of reports.
That they're awesome?
Well, it's awesome, but it's also just like, so I'm making a movie that's going to be 2 hours of a guy pissing in his own mouth. You know, I've talked to Tom Cruise. I'm considering Tom Cruise. And it's like, oh, Tom Cruise is considered like...
Well, I know some of that list is legit. I know Will Smith, it got to like his management level and he passed on it because he thought it was a little too dark for his squeaky image. So I think some of those are actually like, you know, got to a like maybe even met in person kind of thing. Yeah, no, obviously it's not. They were really close. Now I want to read...
You know, we were considering Jack Nicholson for the role of Johnny Five.
Yes. But, I want to read what I consider the greatest takeaway from this movie.
Mm-hmm.
IMDb.com lists trivia for movies. John, I would like to read you this bit of trivia for the movie.
Is this about guns?
No. This is the full trivia. One line on IMDb.com. Instagram user Cool List James watched this movie in cinemas on opening weekend. Somebody just added that, and again, I don't know how long it's been there, but that's on the Spawn trivia.
Oh, big ups to Coolest James.
Coolest James on Instagram. Give him a follow.
That is awesome. Because he saw this opening weekend.
Yeah, Coolest James watched the movie. No,
I'm not going to lie. I was thinking about that when I saw it.
Was this Coolest James's friend fucking with him?
No.
Or is that Coolest James?
That is 100% Coolest James.
You think?
Just trying to get that Instagram clout.
Yeah. I mean, he did it. He got the Jaws bump.
Yeah. You're welcome, Coolest James.
Oh,
please give us a shout out.
Speaking of Coolest James on Instagram, Jaws Pod on Twitter.
Oh yeah, that exists.
We're stepping into 2007 and got ourselves a Twitter.
Yeah.
And so follow that if you want.
Sure. Yeah, I will.
Yeah. I mean, so far it's mostly John and I following it.
Right.
And I think I posted twice.
Well, big news, I just liked the Facebook page.
Oh yeah, it turns out John hasn't liked our Facebook page that I made 3 years ago.
So we're just our fan base is up by 200%, I think now.
John, we watched Spawn, so let's just talk about Coolest James some more.
Please, what else has he seen in the theater opening weekend?
Yeah, let's do a whole John and Alex.
I wonder if there's a
James.
list somewhere.
Probably a cool list.
I would hope so, yeah. If it's about James.
And I bet you he's got like a cool intro on his YouTube channel that is like coolest, 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 and his Jane's putting on sunglasses like Squirtle.
Yeah, yes, the coolest anyone could possibly be, like Squirtle.
Yeah, the Squirtle Squad.
Yes,
they had sunglasses. This movie.
Yeah,
I want to just. I don't even know how to do. I don't know how to talk about this.
Yeah, it's tough because this movie. I mean, we've done some really awful ones and some pretty mediocre ones. This one was just like Taco Bell. Like it just went through me. It was unpleasant. Why focus on that?
Taco Bell is like delicious though.
So is this movie. Delicious. The acting, the comedy, delicious.
Yeah. I guess that's a good place to start because I made this note a few times. Was this a parody?
No.
Because the acting, like, okay, so at one point Wanda says like, "I'll love you forever."
Yeah, it was the 90s, baby.
No, I remember the 90s, and I'm not saying they were like the most serious place in the world, but like this was like Twin Peaks style parody, and I mean maybe they did it on accident.
No, they did. They completely did it on accident. Like it's upsetting. The director Mark A.Z. Dippy, I don't know. He on the DVD commentary when it starts goes.
There's a commentary.
It's commentary, and he goes.
I should have watched it.
And he says when it starts, "Yeah, you can blame this all on me."
Really?
Yeah, and like, like it's that's awesome, great, but it's also a little bit like, for the purpose of this podcast, it's a little defeating to be like, I don't want to kick you when you're down. I want you to be some like shitty cockalorum guy that. Yeah.
Well, I don't think he's going to listen to this.
No, I don't think so. He hasn't returned my calls in a while.
I had that thought when we did this that I should try to get Todd McFarlane on the show. Because I bet you I could book him.
I don't think so. I think he's too big time. He's got that Spawn money.
Yeah, I think I could get Todd McFarlane on the show.
Get it? Let's see. Let's make it happen.
No, I don't want to now that I've watched it. This was a very much pre-watching Spawn thought. Because I would like to know how he defends this.
Well, he certainly wants to remake it. I mean, that's...
No, he wants to do a sequel.
Oh, it's a straight-up sequel. Okay. The thing is honestly, in today's climate, in this economy, you could probably make a pretty decent Spawn movie. Because this, as dark as they wanted it to be, you can do that a lot better now. Yeah.
There's a lot of this could be done better now. Here's the one thing that can't be done better. We discussed this with her. I'm Anne Hedonic. I derive very little joy from the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really watch comedies because I just don't. I find myself nodding and going, "That's funny, well written," instead of laughing. I don't have that euphoria within me.
Sure.
I laughed out loud and cheered every time Malebolgia came on.
Yeah.
The CGI devil.
It's pretty good.
The first time he talked and his mouth didn't move.
Well, you know why his mouth doesn't move?
Oh, I know, John. Because they wanted to appear that if hell itself were speaking. Yeah. John, that's not why his mouth didn't move. They didn't have money to animate his mouth moving.
Yeah, well, they spent a ton of money. Like, the budget basically doubled getting all the CG done, which was done by, 22 different companies.
Yeah.
And you can tell all the love and effort that went into it.
It is that I can't stop laughing at how fucking awful that it looks like. Remember the world's ugliest dog?
Oh,
that was
absolutely, yeah.
That Malebolgia looks like that.
But the truth is, and I was thinking about this, both in the case of the creature designs and Spawn's cape, of how something that can look cool in a comic, as soon as you have to make it move, looks real bad. Because Malebolgia's his bottom jaw, the same is somewhat true with Violator. His bottom jaw is 20 times larger than the rest of his head, and sticks out super long. Imagine that talking. You just have this flappy bill, but when it's a still of a comic, it's a lot more menacing. And the same thing with Spawn's cape. There's a scene in the movie where he's standing on the edge of a building and the cape's blowing. It is insanely long.
Yeah,
and you think about how stupid that is.
Well, I think there's a thing here that they didn't think about this movie at all before making it. Where
they thought about elements of it, but not useful elements.
Because you don't need... So the amount of hero shots this cape gets, you could have made it smaller, because that's what they're doing. The whole point of a graphic novel or a comic book is it's grandizing things. It's making it larger on the page to get across the idea of how just kind of big and stupid the cloak is. Not stupid, but how, kind of imposing it is. When you're seeing it move, you don't need to do that because you can actually see it move. That's the whole thing about moving pictures versus still pictures. So you didn't need it to be 40 cubic yards. I have no idea how much cubic yards are. I regretted saying that 40. But the amount of cloak there is fucking absurd. And also, it looks like shit.
It does. I mean, and I also can't contextualize it into it was the time, because there are a lot better looking movies that came out around this time.
This cannot be blamed on the time. The CGI in this, because this is 1997, there's shit in here that looks worse than stuff from Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
This looks like shit. You can tell they ran out of money or time or something. There's unfinished effects. The CGI is dog shit. And I don't understand why they chose to go that way and here's one of the only positive things I'm going to say about this film. The practical effects look fucking awesome.
Yes, they do.
There's actually few movies that look better in the practical effects department than this. Violator, after it turns from Leguizamo, looks gorgeous. The Spawn suit is beautiful. Holy shit, it looks really good. And it makes the CGI suck even more, because it wouldn't be that difficult you could have just had a puppet Malebolgia. It is infuriating that they went that route. It is.
Yeah, well, that was Dippé's background, was CG stuff, which is why he was hired to do this in the first place, because he was an effects whiz, and a lot of his other what's the word I'm looking for?
Oeuvre?
No,
because it looks like previous to this, he just
credits. That word. A lot of his other credits are VFX stuff or Like he directed a lot of straight-to-video, all CG things, like The Reef 2.
Well, the way that CGI looks in this, it looks like he's only made Star Fox porno.
Mm-hmm.
It's
good
all
stuff.
all this just polygonal shit. So let's talk about this movie a little bit in the context of plot.
Well, I'll say this.
No, you won't,
If you go back in time
and I will.
to visit Coolest James,
Yes.
and you're going to see him at the opening screening of this movie, don't freak out if you're a little bit late to the movie, because the opening does not matter. The opening is telling you what's going to happen in the movie.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of telling you what is happening in this movie.
This is maybe the most exposition-heavy movie we've ever done.
Yeah. And there are going to be times in talking about this where I'm confused about things. And I don't necessarily mean that it doesn't make sense, although some of their plans are pretty stupid. I could not care. And the movie tries to buffer that by just telling you repeatedly, okay, this is what the clown is doing. The clown is going to tell you why the clown is doing this thing, because it's just so hard to give a shit about anything that's going on.
Yeah. Here's what I think this movie is. I think the Highlander got really drunk and had sex with RoboCop because that's the plot of this movie.
There's a fair amount of that, yeah. And then also CG fire walls.
Yeah, CG firewalls. Not the Harrison Ford movie. Just literally walls of CG fire. The star wipes. They're not stars.
There's
but like
so many
the
of like
crucifix wipes.
There's so many like
wipes.
shitty transitions that like it makes it seem like you just got Final Cut Pro and you're like, whoa, star wipe.
Yeah, it is brutal.
It's very bad.
The plot is. I mean, it is just RoboCop. He gets blown up, misses his wife, gets put back together. It's RoboCop. That's what the movie is.
But like and
then Highlander shows up.
It misses some key elements that RoboCop has, and in fact, I would argue, though my memory of the comic is pretty poor, that like there's no real struggle with like my humanity versus my role as Hell's army guy. It was just like, who am I? Oh, I'm this guy. Okay. Like that was solved within 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't remember that being in the comic.
I remember there being a little bit more like struggle with that because he comes back and doesn't remember who he is, where he kind of remembers who he is. Which who he is Al Simmons, expert mercenary assassin guy.
Yeah, producer of The Simpsons.
And we see him at the beginning, also named after one of Todd McFarlane's roommates, apparently.
Well, I would be very offended.
We see him at the beginning performing an assassination, and he does so by breaking into an airplane tower, taking over the tower, and then setting up a thing that launches missiles at a plane and a car and an Arab man.
Oh, yeah.
It's a kick-ass assassin. It's
soap opera level.
It was
filming.
insane. And then like the effects of the explosion are very bad when you see the car kind of lurch forward. It looks very bad.
You know what we skipped though? I'm sorry. And this is so much for you and I. And actually, I think a lot of our listeners are going to understand this. The worst font I've ever seen in those opening credits.
Okay.
When it's red and thin. Is fucking awful.
It was very irritating because the kerning was all weird, and it made me mad that I was angry about that.
Yeah, no, I had the same thought.
I was like, "Well, that kerning's off. That's kind of just messy." And oh god, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, and like the last letters or something would be like the little flares would go in the other direction.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is fucking hideous.
It's all the ends are inexplicably backwards.
Yeah, and then the Spawn logo shows up and disappears in this CGI motion that is. It just sets the tone for how shitty the CGI is. And I couldn't let this go because I knew you'd be annoyed by that font as well.
Yep. Yeah. Right, I'm not happy about it.
So he blows up some Middle Easterners.
Which I like. Well, because later he says like, because a lot of this you get narration from, do they even say his name?
Cagliostro. Cagliostro or whatever. Yeah.
Who's played by a famous Scottish actor, Nicol Williamson.
No, I think it's Michael Jai White.
It is Michael Jai White. Yeah. Nicol Williamson, who is Merlin in Excalibur.
Yes.
Who's one of my favorite versions of Merlin, that kind of like flim flam man thing.
Yeah.
This is like one of his last roles.
I think this is his last role on IMDb. And apparently he was like one of the more well-respected actors in Britain. He was like in like the Royal Shakespeare Company or whatever. He's like a legit he's like Alec Guinness in A New Hope where it's like, oh, what are you doing here?
Well, I love that. That happens all the time where you have like these stage actors playing just garbage characters. Like I always just think of like, I don't know who the actor was, but some like British stage actor was like Ivan Ooze in the Power Rangers movie or something like that.
Totally.
Where you're just like, this is what I'm doing, huh?
Yeah.
One of my favorite pieces of trivia about Spawn is that the character that he plays in the comic book has a super long beard, and he just went, no, I'm not doing that.
Oh, really?
And I like
awesome.
that. Like, no, you don't need that. But a lot of it's a lot of voiceover from him, and he says like Al, like Al Simmons, like him, I killed for good. All we know about Al Simmons is that he's blown up an Arab man. Like, how do we know that that's good?
Yeah. All right. So here's one of the early flaws of the film. Okay. One, Cagliostro. We know he's a chump because Lupin III kept stealing from him.
Absolutely.
Like, at least from his castle.
Right.
Cagliostro is a Middle Ages occultist. Like, so he lives in my world a little bit. But he was known, to use your phrase, as a flim-flam man. Got run out of town on a rail and then probably killed or something.
He died in solitary confinement.
Yeah. So, but he was caught being like a faker. Weird choice to be the leader of the armies of good hell?
Yeah, well...
And also, he's saying, you're just like me, you kill for good. No, he's not. He's working for a company that wants to kill the world with the deadly Heat 16 virus.
Well, he doesn't
15.
know that yet.
But
before then, he's just been killing normally cool.
No, he wouldn't be. He's working for a company that's run by a madman that's working with...
But he doesn't know that. They've just been killing people that they've deemed to be bad.
So it's fine as long as somebody else says they're bad.
Yes.
So I'm like, hey, John, my next door neighbor, pretty sure he's one of the boys from Brazil.
I gotta go.
You can go kill him. Turns out that he was, donating his white blood cells for cancer research.
Yeah, to make little Hitlers in the bloodstream.
So that means it's justified kill,
right?
Because somebody told you they were bad.
Somebody told me it was bad.
All right,
no one told me.
Army of one, baby. Make America great again. Yeah, weird choice for Cagliostro. Him having knowledge of him doesn't of Al Simmons doesn't make sense. His knowledge is wrong, which is even weirder. And also, he sucks at fighting. And where are all his chains and armor?
Okay, you forgot one important thing.
This movie blows.
He occasionally glows green.
That's true.
In a way that doesn't affect anything and doesn't matter, and no one notices.
Yeah, I forgot. My bad.
Every time he shows up at the beginning, it's just like green.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, okay, he glows.
But
I think that's to let you know that something's going on with this guy.
But he's teaching Spawn to use his necroflesh. And we're going to get back to necroflesh. Probably more than once. Why doesn't he use it other than turn his hand to a sword?
I don't know the Spawn lore, but I think it's like he got out of it somehow. Like he's reformed. He went to some Spawn meetings and got despawned.
Okay. Because that's not in the movie?
Yeah. No, there's a lot of these sort of lore, like the battle between heaven and hell. Because again, my bad memory of my shitty teenage understanding was that heaven wasn't all that great either. Like some of the angels and stuff like that were kind of crummy.
Well, no, but I don't think we should have a memory of Spawn in the comic book. We're talking about the movie.
Right. No, but I'm just
it's just a...
Yeah.
So in the movie, there's no explanation. It's just, I can turn my hand into a sword.
I'm an old man and I glow green, so I've got some things to tell you.
Okay, cool. Because that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Martin Sheen is...
Tony Stark.
Has to be... Yes, he does look like Tony Stark. He's got to wake up at nights in cold sweats thinking about this movie, because that's an embarrassing thing to have gone through.
It's not great, yeah. I feel like he's probably done worse, but this isn't good.
Because this was bad. He's terrible. The lady that's in the room with him that gets shot in the head by our hero. Jessica Priest, who gets shot in the head by our hero. So in the first, half an hour of the movie, our hero kills a bunch of brown people and then shoots a woman in the dome.
Well, to be fair, the woman shot him first.
Oh, that's fine then.
Yes.
Because that's what they say. They say save the cat and murder the lady in high heels and latex.
Well, yeah, the movie spends a lot of time on the character of Jessica Priest.
Yeah.
And they clearly were going to have her show up later, but that became not possible. She was going to show up in cybernetic armor or something like that. Became out of the budget, not possible. But they still kept in everything leading up to that.
That was weird.
They spent so much time on establishing her as a villain that you expect her to come back, and then by the end of the movie, I had kind of forgotten. I was like, oh yeah, wait, that character, where'd she go?
Yeah, and they left in the part where they put her in a body bag that's filled with dry ice, in a container, where it's
unless that hey, saving that for the sequel.
But you could have just cut that part. It's just so fucking weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's embarrassed, and John Leguizamo, which
he seems like he's taking Russian fake Robin Williams drug. It's some bad stuff because and I can't tell if he's just if this stuff was sort of written, if he thinks it's funny, or he's just flailing. He's just trying to make this work and just saying whatever. Because none of what he says is funny or good.
So having seen him in other stuff, and I think maybe even I've seen one of his stand-up, not stand-up, whatever, one-man show kind of things. The voice he's using for those jokes, and I choke on that word, sounds like him. So is either written in his voice, or that's him kind of improving, saying a lot of that stuff, or written it himself.
Because I think he has been funny. I think some of his like one-man shows were pretty good. And I think he can be a good actor in things, but this was not one of those things.
I've not known him to be a good actor in anything. I have not seen him in a lot of stuff that showcases his work. So not like I'm writing him off. It's just what I mean. I've seen this and the Mario Brothers movie. At that point,
I was talking about the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of work you have to do to recover from that, but he hasn't done it because
he went to the bathroom in the clown suit.
Yeah, I read that on the trivia thing.
That's pretty great. That's pretty funny. Huh?
No.
Gotta give him that. Gotta give him that. Come on.
I think my favorite part was the fart jokes, because those were
great. They bothered the CG Cloud. Now, so...
You know how much money that CG fart cost in 1997?
Why is he a clown? Why is he a fat clown?
It makes no sense. He also said he hates clowns. When he gets dressed up as an actual clown for the birthday party, he says... Right. The boss made me dress up as a clown. I fucking hate clowns.
Well, okay.
And I guess that's the joke because he is a clown?
But, like, what's his whole thing?
Well, he's the violator. He's not the vibrator. He's not the vicinator.
There's apparently other ones that look like him that are called things like the Vindicator or whatever.
Yeah, but he says vibrator in this, John.
Yeah,
John, John, that's a personal enjoyment toy for ladies.
Yeah, for back rubs. Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
But, like, what's in this movie?
No, it's not for... It's for when you got a little head.
In this movie... What's his deal?
Well, he likes farting.
No, but like, why is he around?
He's a very drop dead Fred kind of character.
Yeah, why is he around? Well, what's his role?
He's like the first general of hell, which is why you know when you're Satan or Malbolgia as he's called in this movie, when you're Malbolgia, you think, you know what I need to roust up an army of people for the Earth realm? I need a dipshit that makes a lot of fart jokes. That's the person. Nobody serious. Nothing.
Well, why is he a clown? Because later when he takes like the form of Wanda to like...
Yeah.
Why is he not just that? Why is he
because he's not the vacillator. He's not the vindicator.
Okay.
He's
right.
the violator.
This is going nowhere.
What are you not getting about this?
Yeah, that's all right. It's on me. It's just...
John, what do you miss?
It's a personal problem.
I agree with you 100%. It's fucking infuriating, but there's no answer. It's just...
He's an evil clown.
I think because it looked cool and it was 1997.
Yeah, it's dark and edgy.
I mean, it didn't look cool in
Actually,
this.
that's.
Let's be very clear. I didn't mean it looks cool unless... Do not hold me to that. I meant in the comic book. It looks kind of cool.
That is the thing that John Leguizamo has since said about the movie, is that they wasn't allowed to be as dark as it should have been, and that hurt it. Which I would argue that John Leguizamo hurt it.
Yeah. Because
actually everything hurt it. I can't put it on him specifically, but his performance
is okay. Oh God, there's so much shit. So when when Al Simmons is still just Al Simmons, and he's at the bad guy plant, and that guy's gun shoots him with goo. I laughed out loud.
Okay, well, yeah. So this is the thing that makes no sense. So Al Simmons, finding out that he ended up killing people other than the bad guy he was supposed to kill, goes to Jason Wynn. That's the Martin Sheen character. His office. Jason Wynn, by the way, has an ashtray that exists in an aquarium full of scorpions, which is so stupid, and I love it. Like, that is,
that is kind of awesome.
And Jason Wynn's like, you're crazy. We're good bad guys. Hey, go do this thing for me. Go blow up this oil tank. I don't even know what it was.
I think it was
a chemical plant.
Chemical plant, yeah.
So Al Simmons goes there, only to discover that bombs have already been placed. And then Jason Wynn and Jessica Pree show up and are like, wah ha 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 ha, we are bad, we got you.
Yeah.
Shoot him and then blow him up. You could have just, why are you there?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, they sprayed him with goo.
They sprayed him with goo out of a gun.
Yeah, it was basically like,
they had a goo gun.
It was flamethrower juice without the flame. It was just gas, basically. But
it's just...
Yeah, it was gasoline. They brought their super soakers.
We watch a lot of shitty movies, but rarely like I want MST3K or Riff Tracks to do this because like there's scenes in this that just made me laugh out of just the sheer incompetence of it. But you're right. Well, they don't need to be there.
Well, they don't. Well, and like, and so much of the editing too is terrible. Like matches stuff just kind of slams together. Like people are in different, matches on action don't happen. Like just weird, repeated actions. It's just pretty incompetent all the way through.
And then he gets dragged to hell.
Right.
For a second. And no. Oh, I missed the other embarrassing part. You remember what he says when he gets lit on fire? He goes, Wanda!
Oh, right.
Hands up, 2 fists, shaking at the sky like an old man yelling at clouds, screaming his wife's name. What the ever-living fuck
What was he supposed
to
do? Just be like, oh, dearie me, I'm on fire.
Oh, no. The yelling I'm fine with. Maybe even the shaking the hands at the sky. But the yelling your way, that's some fucking prescient.
Because he knew she set him up. She's the one behind all
yeah, of course. I really wish that happened. Here's a thought I had while watching this movie. Mm-hmm. We go back on Earth and there's this sweeping shot of Goth Cathedral Town.
Yep.
And in my head, I said, hey, look, they're back on Earth and he's in a Todd McFarlane Oh, yeah. I literally, it was so cheesy and Todd McFarlane looking at him like, oh, yeah, wait, that's what I'm watching.
He just wakes up. Like, you see him fall to hell, and then he just wakes up, and he's inexplicably in this Gothic cathedral.
Yeah.
And he looks like a beef jerky California raisin. And
it looks really good, though.
It looks good, but it's also kind of like the mask was cool, too. And Spawn kind of has a mask. But whatever. That's fine. This beef jerky face is fine.
And he gets the mask later.
Yeah. So he ends up in this, like, homeless Nightbreed village.
Yeah.
Of these people living there. And sure enough, Cagliostro or whatever is there, and he's glowing again, and that's fine. And so is this little kid, Zach, who is in the movie inexplicably.
You mean Gage from Pet Sematary.
Is that who that kid is? Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I had to look him up because I just was like, I know that fucking child.
Yeah.
His character made the least sense of anything in this movie.
No, because he doesn't fit at all. There's not really a storyline with him.
But also, sorry, continue your sentence.
No, just that. And like, he sort of like Spawn. He's like, "What is going on? I shouldn't be here. I should be on fire somewhere."
Yeah, I should be with Wanda.
Well, and the kid is like, "Hey, you want this sandwich? You want a drink?" No, he's a Coke. He's like, "You want a drink?" And he's like, "Get out of here, kid." And he's like, "Hey, I've seen worse cases. My dad worked for a mortician." Which there is a lot to unpack in that statement.
Yes,
I have a lot of questions.
Okay, so here's the other problem with that kid. One, he doesn't need to be there. 2, his relationship with his father is strange.
Extremely strange.
Where his father's like, he's basically like abusive.
Sort of.
But also takes care of him.
Yep.
But then his father dies and we're supposed to get sympathy out of that. Mm-hmm. And then I don't get, what are we supposed to feel there? Was that a hero moment when the bad guy kills the abusive dad that the kid still loves? Nothing. That doesn't make sense.
No, none of it.
Like that's not the way.
No, it felt like there were whole like swaths of this movie that they just went, okay, we can't do that, so get rid of that. But they didn't they were like editing as they went, but they didn't go back and fix that stuff.
Because that was baffling. The kid being there is really strange, and it's not like
it doesn't humanize Spawn in any way. It doesn't lend anything to it.
I know it's the 90s, and the 90s were, like, very kid-centric. Like, a lot of, like, cool kids. But it's not like this kid's played as, like, cool. Like, I could see it if he was, like, a cool street kid, like, leather jacket and, like, cool Squirtle sunglasses. Like,
right.
I could see, like, why I would still disagree with him being in the movie. But he'd go, it was the 90s. That was, like, you had to sign a contract that kid had to be in every movie.
It's like Shelley and the Crow. It makes some sense that she's there. That, you know what I mean? Like, he's protecting her, and she's kind of the surrogate for that. Yeah. And this is not
This
that
is just
at all.
a kid he knows that
will take care of a dog later.
Yeah, and is really picky about what he eats sandwich-wise, given how long he's been homeless.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying homeless kids should be eating moldy food.
Right.
I'm not putting that out there. What I am saying, though, is that if you've been homeless for a long time, I'm sure you're inured to what you can eat and can't eat. It's not like that happened a week last Tuesday.
We don't know how long they've been homeless. All we know is that his dad worked for a mortician. Also, that dad is listed as on IMDb as Glenn, Zach's dad.
Yeah.
As opposed to the other Glens in the movie. But I like to pretend that his last name is Zach's dad, so that the kid is named Zach's dad.
Yeah, well, no, Cagliostro, his first name's Glenn.
Okay, Glenn. Yeah, it's me, Glenn Cagliostro.
Yeah. Actually, Spawn's first name
Immortal guy, Glenn.
Is Glenn, middle name Hell, last name Spawn.
Glenn L. Spawn.
Nee L. Simmons.
You are now
Do you say, is it Nee
Glenn.
or Nay?
No, I believe it's Nay.
Yeah, it's spelled knee, and that bothers me.
No, it's got that accent. That'll throw you every time.
Yeah, fucking accents ain't grand.
So my favorite part of this is he sort of immediately figures out, oh, wait a minute, I'm Al Simmons, and that I've been dead. And goes to visit his wife, who is now married to his best friend.
Yeah.
Who in the comic book is also a black man, but they changed that in the movie because they were worried at the time that the movie was going to read too black. That it was going to feel like it was for black audiences.
Yeah.
Which
now, here's the thing, John. I have something to read to you, unless you're in the middle of a point.
No. Well, it was more of a question.
Yeah. Oh, please. I would love to answer a question.
A question leading to a point, I suppose. It's more of a comment than a question. At his daughter's birthday party, where
Yes.
John Leguizamo as the clown's performing.
Yes.
When he leaves, he gives her a horrid-looking doll.
Yes.
That's supposed to be a clown, and then that's forgotten about.
And he also says exorcist doll
Yeah.
or exorcist clown.
Yeah, and then that seems like something's going to happen with that,
Yeah. No, it's just there.
and then it doesn't.
Yeah. Also,
Why would you keep that doll? That thing is hideous.
Here's a quick list of the movies that this movie insults. Apocalypse Now,
Yep.
referenced multiple times, and
Yeah.
The Exorcist. Don't bring up better movies in
Yeah.
your shitty movie.
Can't
'Cause you know
stress
what
that enough.
You know what that did was remind me of the movies I could be watching.
Like, oh yeah, this
instead
is
of
way
this.
better.
If I may.
Please do.
Ahem. A new hellspawn has emerged from the darkness, reborn on Earth, drawn to the alley by an unknown force, and this is where it gets good. His necroplasmic body racked by pain, his memories fragmented. To him, North Korea was moments ago, but Malbosia kept him secluded in darkness for 5 long years, while things on Earth changed in ways that will only feed his anger and desire for revenge. He sets out to claim his humanity. How much is left remains to be seen. That's one long bit of dialogue
Yes.
by Cagliostro off screen, which leads to a clown birthday party.
Yes.
That is immediately before a clown birthday party.
How else was that going to end?
His necroplasmic body racked by pain. Mm-hmm. Now, just because we're on the topic of necroplasm, I would like to do another quick reading from this.
Please do.
A Two-Man Show by one Alex Bond. This is after he does a double fart joke. Skid marks, takes out his underwear. Mm-hmm. Al says, I feel like my skin's about to explode. That's just your viral necroplasm going through its larval stage.
I follow all of this.
John, I have over there, I have my bookshelf in the closet.
Yes.
If you want to just grab my high school yearbook, that was my senior quote. Was that's just your viral necroplasm going through its larval stage. This movie
But when he said it was funny.
is, I mean, I was going to just start writing all the exposition and then realize it's the whole movie.
Yeah.
But that fucking speech I just gave, which by the way, I gave brilliantly.
It was as good as the movie.
Everybody on Facebook should say nice things about me. Oh, sorry. We ain't found shit. Oh, great. Now someone can compliment me.
Good.
Hey, Matt, use the Schwartz. Is that the funniest thing you've ever heard on a fucking show? Cock. I'm leaving that in, too, because I think he'll find it amusing.
Sure. So hopefully someone will.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
So at the birthday party, Al shows up, and more of the kind of, I think the pure good, wholesome humanity that's shown in this movie, where they see a homeless man that's severely disfigured, and they're like, get out of here! Get out of here, pariah! How dare you exist as a human being? No, I get it. So, there's a stranger on your property.
Right.
You have children there. I totally get. But I not to use the term body shaming or whatever. I don't even know what to say, but like that man's obviously been through some shit.
Yeah.
The guy at the house, his best friend, he works in the military. And
So we should have called in an airstrike on him?
No, I'm just assuming he's seen soldiers come back that have been severely burned and injured.
No, because he's a hero. He doesn't like soldiers that have been injured or POWs.
Yeah.
He likes heroes.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I like? I like Memorial Day, not Veterans Day, because motherfuckers shouldn't come back.
That's right. That's what he says.
Yes. Not me. No,
not you.
I support our troops.
Yeah, because Spawn is not, Al is not fully realized that he's Al or something. Because he can't just go, hey, it's me, Al.
Mario.
He just hides.
Well, I question that. He knows he's Al because he remembers Wanda and he knows how to get to the house.
He's just embarrassed.
I thought his name was kind of taboo, much like Voldemort. He who shall not be named.
Right.
No, I thought it was like a, I don't know what to say, devil trick or whatever, that he can't hang out with his old life.
That would make sense, but I don't think, as much as the movie told you everything else, it didn't tell you anything about that.
Yeah, it's just the way that he didn't speak. He didn't show that amount of emotional depth anywhere else in the movie.
I thought maybe it was just like, fuck, no one can know that I'm in the movie Spawn. Don't let
I mean,
my
that
wife
makes a
know.
lot of sense. Yeah. Because Michael Jai White's like a fine actor.
He has said, like, although he said he would do a sequel, apparently he's also said, like, at no point will you find any footage that I say that this is a good movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not on record saying Spawn is a good movie.
Let's take a moment to talk about people that sign up for movies like this.
They like money?
No, especially with this movie. I don't blame anyone. Because I feel like if you read the script, especially if the Leguizamo parts were in the script that says, funny guy will improv some funny shit here. And I think a lot of that was second, like they did in reshoots. Because they said they did some reshoots to make the movie funnier. I think in script form, in 1997, this movie looks really good to sign on to. Because it looks cool. Spawn's like this big, cool thing. Like first black-led comic book. I don't blame anybody for signing on. And that's why I feel bad for them when they have to give interviews afterwards. Because like they don't want to shit on... A lot of people put like a lot of really hard and good work into this. And I feel bad when they're like, hey, you're in this piece of shit movie Spawn, where he's like, oh, yeah, I never said I liked it. And that's like...
Well, I think that was, that's probably several years later. But I know what you mean. Yeah. Like, I remember even being a kid and seeing Surf Ninjas, I think, was the movie with, like, Rob Schneider's in it. Like, and all these press interviews, he was like, they're like, well, your hair is orange. Like, yeah, that was something that wasn't really thought through. And, like, I never thought the movie looked good. I'm like, this seems kind of crummy. You're just like shitting all over this movie that you're in.
Yeah.
And I know other more famous people have done it. I know Alec Guinness, I don't know at the time or whatever, but yeah, he's famously embarrassed to be in Star Wars.
Well, no, Alec Guinness, that's one of
I'm also comparing Alec Guinness to Rob Schneider, for those of you at home.
Well, you compare Alec Guinness to the Irish guy. I don't know who he is in this. Alec Guinness, that's one of those weird kind of misattributes. He basically said he didn't want to be in the sequel. He actually said he liked the movie when he saw it. Like his shitting on it was like, it's not really a kind of movie I like.
Right.
He never actually said Star Wars bad. It's just, that's not my kind of movie. I don't watch this stuff. He was very like classy about it, but then people took that as, especially in the 70s, that's equivalent to saying you thought the movie blew.
Yeah.
And so later interviews, he's like, no, I like the movie. I saw it. It was good.
But is it better to openly acknowledge like, no, I know this is garbage, or is it, it's probably less professional to do that, I suppose.
It's where you draw the line. It's like, I think you can when it's, Aractopus versus Sharkzilla.
Sure, yeah.
I think you can go, yeah, this is a piece of shit,
Because I think, I think Ben Affleck had to comment on, there was that like meme going around of like Hello Darkness, my old friend, playing over some interview of him. It's him and Henry Cavill talking about like Batman versus Superman. And he gets kind of quiet, and it just starts like zooming in on him.
Oh, that's funny.
Then he had to comment on that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man.
Here's something about this movie as well. It came out in 1997, 2 years before The Matrix.
Yep.
A lot of music cues and some of the visual stuff. The Matrix, not saying stole from this, but...
No, but that was the whole style at the time. That kind of like techno-y.
But here's I guess my point, is I forgot that. And now in my head, The Matrix was kind of the first big American movie to do it. And to see something 2 years before, literally using the song from this that opens it is a song from The Matrix. Or, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was later used in The Matrix.
Yeah, like, I mean, Orbital was on a lot of soundtracks.
Yeah, I guess in my head, it's like, I forgot that was around for a while. And it's just kind of like, it's The Matrix. So it's just weird to see this. Especially there's like, the leather lady that's like, kind of Trinity, not Trinity looking, but it's like there's a pretty one-to-one. No, I know, but
it was the style at the time.
A lot of that's been wiped away to be like, oh well, it's just The Matrix, and seeing this like, oh, this is awkward.
Yeah. Speaking of the leather-clad lady, we get this scene now where Al is like, well, I remember I've been killed by, I've had a flashback to the scene that we all just saw, and I got killed by these people. And so he goes and, imbued with the powers of hell, steals a bunch of guns, goes to Jason Wynn's secret, super awesome gun safe, and takes a lot of guns. Jason Wynn and D.B. Sweeney's character, Terry, I think is his name.
Oh, who cares?
Yeah, and Jessica Price are at this like gala luncheon thing.
Yeah,
They Terry gets a note that, or gets a phone call that, oh my God, all our shit's been then took, and they're gonna go check it out. And then Spawn shows up, but fortunately, Jessica, is it Price? I've already forgotten her name.
No, Cross or something like it's Priest.
Jessica Priest is there in a skin tight jumpsuit to shoot people.
Yes,
She does.
Okay, so that happens. She gets shot in the head, put in carbonite.
Well, there's also, she shoots him and he like falls backwards and then his wounds heal and he's like, badass.
Oh yeah, we also missed. She tries to kick him in the ghoulies.
Right.
And his belt buckle cock bites her in the ankle.
Mm-hmm.
I hate this movie.
Yeah.
With a passion of 1,000 suns.
Yeah, it's because it just does. And then he gets the upper hand and he tells her where you're going every day is Halloween, because she's like, says something like, what is it, Halloween? He's like, where you're going every day is Halloween, which sounds pretty awesome. Like, I've seen the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, Jack Skellington got pretty tired of it though.
Yeah, and he went back at the end.
Yeah,
he learned to love it. It's pretty cool.
This is necroplasm. This is necroplasm.
But then there's this line. He's like, got her dead to rights, and she's like, you ain't got the guts. And he says, you're right.
I thought about that line quite a bit.
Yes. Okay. Do you have an answer?
I do.
Okay.
John.
Yes.
What I need you to know is that he's not a person anymore. He's viral necroplasm in the larval stage.
But does she know that?
Oh, no. His kill line to her.
Oh, okay.
So what he's saying is he literally doesn't have guts anymore because
he's
he's larval necroplasm. But there's no way for her to know that.
I feel like you should have explained that to her.
But
I think that would have made the own a lot better.
He should have said that to camera, because there's no fucking way that would make sense to her.
He kicks her off the ledge, then leans over to the camera and is like, technically, here's why.
See, I don't have guts. I also don't have genitals anymore. That's why my belt cock can bite her legs.
And then when she hits the table, a lot of the gala people have left, but she falls out, hits the table, and then John Leguizamo says, is that all going to be the same or separate checks?
Yes.
To one person.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah. Hilarious stuff. Right. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It really,
making sure I heard that right.
It really is Robin Williams level unfunny of let's just say a whole bunch of stuff in a row.
Yeah. It's like all the stuff you don't see on Portlandia that they just cut. So then Spawn tries to escape, and that's when you realize that his powers, Spawn's specific powers, are whatever is convenient.
Let's talk about this for 2 hours.
Excellent.
Why? Okay. I hate to go back to Cagliostro.
Yes.
But you figure like Lupin the Third wouldn't be able to steal that. I hope anybody gets that joke. He looks like a human, and he was the previous Hell Spawn, I think is established.
Uh-huh.
Why does Spawn, the one Al Simmons that we're following, why does he get like an S&M outfit with spikes on it? Like, where does that come from?
I think that's your uniform in... Like I said, I think Cagliostro or whatever got out of it, and so he doesn't have his necroplasm anymore. They could have explained it. They didn't.
Okay.
He's just a guy that glows green.
So we're just okay. So
things.
Fine. The outfit is spiky things, the Spawn mask, the thing.
He basically used his outfit to look like a weird old man that glows green.
I'm actually fine with that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not. I don't even want to think about him that much anymore.
Yeah.
There can be only one. He literally says chop their head off while wearing a trench coat.
Uh-huh.
You must be watching. Ramirez's blade should have cut deeper. Fucking the introduction of the cloak makes so little sense. I know we talked about the size of it, but it's basically the third lead, and at no point, because I get the spikes, I sort of get the outfit where it's like, well, whatever, it's a hell outfit, fine,
sure.
It looks. Why a 70-foot cloak?
Yeah, no, it's not anything that I fully understand.
And it's introduced off screen, just
right,
and he doesn't question it.
Yeah, well, because and the movie's explanation is that at that time his powers are just operating on instinct.
Yeah, I get it because his necroplastic larva is just
shoots out chains,
stage.
You know, as things naturally do. But
I get shooting at chains because he's from hell, and I get that in like this Hieronymus Bosch style of hell, where if he was torturing people, he could make his body an instrument of torture.
Yeah, but what about suction cup hands? Because you get suction cup hands.
Okay, we'll get back to it. Let's deal with the cloak first. At no point in hell where you go like I will give you delicious pleasure, Pinhead style. Like, yeah, I get the chains. I get all the other stuff. I don't get like if Pinhead had a 40-foot cloak, you go, that's fucking dumb.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
is his name Pinhead? His name's not Pinhead.
Well, it's not officially Pinhead.
No, but that's
like
people do refer to him as that. Okay, all right. The suction cup hands, I think, is this. This movie is fucking stupid.
Oh, okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Well, what I love is, so he's on the side of a building and he's kind of trapped, and then his suit starts changing his hands, and they become the Sushi Cup hands, and you can hear them go like,
yeah.
And it's like a cartoon.
And he
it's
has
beautiful.
these like a lot of his reactions are like video game reactions are like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like just these
very 90s black guy thing.
Yeah, like it actually it kind of reminded me of Duke Nukem at times where it's like ugh.
But it made me think of like every other black character we've seen in movies from that time. Like the dude from Event Horizon or that where it's like, this is how these people talk, right?
Yes. The 90s were awful.
Yeah, it's great.
John, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever ridden a clown's pink pony?
No.
Oh, okay. Because my buddy V. O'Later, he wanted to ask you that.
No, that's thoughtful of him.
I just every now and again have a quote from him in here, and I decided to read that one out loud.
Yeah.
So I have my answer, and maybe we should save this to the end, but I have it here, and I don't want to forget it.
About the clown's pink pony?
No.
Oh.
What do you think the absolute worst scene in this movie is?
Ooh. Oh, man. Ooh. It's got to be somewhere between the opening and the end. I would say it's got to be
I would put it there as well. Yeah. I kind of want a slightly more narrow range.
I don't know. Because there's a lot of... I mean, the whole living room final battle is pretty great. The whole bad
contender.
CG thing is up there. Yeah, I don't know. What's
Okay, your answer is gonna be living room thing, and I'm just gonna win right now.
Yeah.
John Leguizamo dressed as the cheerleader.
Okay, yeah, that's...
It is I might be the worst scene of any movie we've watched.
I don't know why it's there. I'll certainly give you that.
It's him doing the cheerlead stroke rap. Just shitty rapping, and it's just like, oh, why is this happening? Like, this isn't funny. This like, you just have a lot of energy. I don't get it. I want to read you my exact reactions while we're watching this movie. So the cheerleader thing's happening, and I put, oh, good God, the cheerleader bit. And then I put ... ha 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 ha, the devil guy again. This makes me so happy. It's like a dog with lockjaw. His mouth doesn't even move. And I literally just got so happy seeing the devil guy. And that's it. So this whole movie could be the worst scene ever, and then just cut back to Malbosia and be like, that's a thing.
Now, I believe we should mention this. At the very beginning of the movie, when Jason Wynn, Martin Sheen, is when they're concocting Al Simmons' downfall.
Yeah.
He's talking to a shadowy figure who's totally the clown.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you couldn't have changed into something else for this, but like, whatever.
Yeah.
But so Hell's plan, as far as I can understand it, and like I said before, it's really just because I don't care. The clown wanted Jason Wynn to kill Al Simmons. Mm-hmm. So Al Simmons would lead, he was such a badass killer that he would lead the army of hell, and that's, obviously we want this badass killer to lead army of hell, but behind the scenes, the clown wanted that to happen so that Al Simmons would remember that Jason Wynn killed him, kill Jason Wynn, launching the virus bomb that would help Hell win the day. Okay.
Correct.
It's a long way to go.
It is. It's well convoluted.
Yeah.
One of the best things in this movie, and by the best, I mean it's incredibly stupid, the heart monitor in Martin Sheen, so when he dies, it will set off the Heat 16.
Uh-huh.
The heart monitor it's like the size of a travel sewing kit.
It is huge. It is a disc man. Yeah. Like,
it's hilarious, and he's like awake while they put it in. It's the whole scene. It's just
totally
comically bad.
Yeah, they put this heart monitor like as a dead man switch. So in case he dies, the viral bomb will go off.
Wait, a dead man switch? You mean like Epstein?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But an effective one.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. Epstein's didn't go off. That's the thing, because Epstein didn't kill himself. He's alive on an island.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Little St. James 2.
Yes. Oh, here's a little note too. Now, the little kid in this movie, I think, is the best actor in this. Not that he has much to do, but like everybody else is like actively sucking. He does a fine job.
Yeah, I mean, like in Michael Jai White, it can be good. I mean, I can't stress enough how much I like.
I'm not. I mean, Martin Sheen is literally.
Well, yeah, obviously, he's like, Martin Sheen.
It's not. I'm not saying these are bad actors. I'm just saying they did
in this movie.
In this movie, it's just because there's like little kid dialogue. I'm like, oh, he's doing a good job in this, which is so like it almost like makes it worse because it's like, oh yeah, acting exists.
But I also like the idea that the director Dippe, like, he has such a child brain that he could effectively communicate with this child, and everyone else is like, what?
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, and you're gonna go, Pachoo! And then he's gonna be over here just like, and the kid's like, I understand you.
Oh yeah, so the Violator, he gives his "I'm not the vibrator" speech.
Well, before he does that, you mentioned him going to hell and talking to Malebolgia.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh yeah, because see in hell.
Yeah.
There's like and then so if he's in hell.
Yeah. So like
the violator can be. He's not like a vacillator or like a vasodilator. He's not a vasectomy. He's the violator, and so when he's in hell, he can. And then Malebolgia.
Why is Malebolgia mad at him?
Exactly. So and he goes back to Earth. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, well, I'm good.
Clear as crystal.
I will say though, John Leguizamo. There's a scene when I don't know if it's. I think it's after that because they're back in the Nightbreed homeless people area, where John Leguizamo is like telling him his role. Like the sort of traditional 3-act structure of a superhero movie really happens in the last like half hour of this movie, where he like learns to use his powers immediately and fights the bad guy.
Yeah.
And John Leguizamo explaining about his necroplasm and all that stuff, at one point pulls a pizza out of the trash can that has maggots on it and eats it because he's gross and disgusting.
John, the maggots squeak.
Yeah, and John Leguizamo actually did that. He put those.
I don't
things
care.
In his mouth.
John, they put
character actors.
They put audio effects in there of maggots squeaking.
Yeah, that's
because
maggots. They're maggots.
Maggots have vocal. Anything that small generally doesn't have vocal cords. They
do.
No.
How did they squeak then? Huh? There's filmic evidence that I'm right.
Necroplasm?
Yep.
Is my guess.
All right.
Okay. So, I'm the violator speech happens. This is in the Nightbreed alley.
Right.
And
because Spawn is like, I don't want to do any of this shit.
And he kills the kid's dad.
Mm-hmm. Glenn. Zach's
and
dad.
he turns into the full violator, like the kind of whatever that kind of
demon-looking thing.
He kind of looks like the cockroaches from Men in Black, but very big. You know, they got the kind of long body and
kind of yeah. I see where you're going with that.
And it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it's cool. Like the stop motion stuff is
and I realized
cool.
that Spawn's suit looks gorgeous, and then I realized it's like Rick Baker or somebody like really famous does the.
I know Greg Nicotero is involved.
Yeah, it's Greg Nicotero and somebody else did the. Oh, I should. So it looks good as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes everything else look terrible. I know I said this before, but during that speech, the Violator, describing how hell's gonna rain or whatever, he says, "Helter Skelter is coming down."
Yes,
that's uncomfortable. That's Charles Manson's thing.
Yeah,
and he murdered like real people. I don't think you should have like that in Spawn. Like I feel like if you're in the world that we're describing here. That's a little, not saying like, man, that's too real, but like, that's maybe not use the one, because like also Helter Skelter is a ragingly racist theory.
Yeah. It's almost like when you put superheroes in the real world, it's really uncomfortable and bad.
But Superman never says, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kill a bunch of actresses and write Black Panther on the wall so the black people will kill all the white people. We can hide in a hole in the desert.
Well, they stopped Zack Snyder before he could do that.
Yeah, fair enough. Actually, Zack Snyder probably... That's in the Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Spawn says, oh, so that's how it works at one point when he's like trying to like make his powers work.
Yes, yeah. Well, I also like at one point. At one point, he tells a little kid, "I didn't come here to make friends," which was also pretty great. But that predates reality TV. So.
This is a terrible chase scene that happens here too. The motorcycle chase.
Well, okay. Well, so he fights the Violator.
Oh yeah,
and this is a pretty decent. You know, it's an alright fight. Just
the CGI looks good.
It's fine. Yeah, he gets the CGI, better of him, and Violator leaves kind of beaten, and then Cagliostro's like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to use those powers that you have that you should have been using this whole time.
Oh, yeah, we had the montage.
Yeah, so you get this little training thing going on, and then Spawn's like, aha, now I'm going to go fight Jason Wynn, and gets on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Sure. Again, imbued with the powers of hell, let's just steal someone's motorcycle.
Also, yeah, this is our hero stealing some guy's motorcycle.
Stealing a motorcycle. And, is racing to the...
racing is
wherever.
word.
He's driving.
He's driving leisurely. This is the most leisurely chase, or at least I don't know if it's the editing, but boy, it felt so low.
Well, yeah, and then because he's just going there. Yeah. He's not. There's no time constraints as far as he knows.
No. I mean, once the dump truck, which
we'll see. Yeah, the dump truck shows up, and John Leguizamo is driving, and he says out loud, "I'm going to make Spawn so mad that he kills Jason Wynn."
Yeah,
and then proceeds to try to do that.
Yep. He also says, time for some necro goo. Open up and say ah.
And he because he appears on the back of the truck after driving for a bit. and he opens the hatch to the back of the truck that dumps a bunch of goo on the ground. Sorry, necro goo.
Thank you. This is also where I put "fuck you" movie.
Yeah. But it's cool because Spawn's able to wrap the motorcycle in his cape and turn it into an H.R. Geiger turd.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Things get fuzzy here because your brain is just mush at this point.
Okay, yeah. So this is when Johnny Legs goes to Wanda's house, and this part just annoyed the shit out of me. Martin Sheen, in quotes, has Wanda with a knife to her neck.
Yeah, well, because we've skipped over the absolutely pointless thing where Terry,
who's Terry?
Her husband, his friend.
That's not in this movie.
He has found out that Jason Wynn has done some bad things by looking up things on Windows 91 or whatever.
Oh yeah. Fakentosh 4.0.
Yeah, and having an awesome teleconference with a reporter.
Did you laugh?
I will say.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we'll give credit for this movie for having their news program look like video, look like a news program.
Oh, that's
It wasn't
true.
just, because I always hate that. It's just a little pet peeve, but kudos for you for going the extra mile.
Did you laugh when they were using touchscreens? So I was like, oh, is that futuristic back then? But when the computer goes, opening secret file.
Yes, yeah, it's like accessing secret documents.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a great thing. How about you hit the mute button there,
Yeah.
son?
I just haven't put in I haven't put in Ramses 2 and then unlock it.
Oh,
but yeah,
God.
but just accessing secret files. Again, this movie just telling you everything.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, that's the subplot that boring guy is going to release the secret files because he's been working undercover.
Right. So because he's starting to get wise that all of Jason Wynn's ops are going sideways and helping bad people.
Yeah.
So Martin Sheen is actually going to, and he's kind of confronted Martin Sheen about it a little bit, and Martin Sheen is off to kill Wanda and Cyan and presumably Terry as well for trying to get this information. And Spawn gets wind of this and goes to try to save the day.
Yeah. And her sister's MYK.
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
So Martin Sheen, who later turns out is the Violator in disguise, is holding...
No, John Leguizamo is the Violator in disguise.
No, but Martin Sheen... Oh, no.
Wanda is...
Yeah, no, sorry. I said that weird. Yeah. Martin Sheen is holding Wanda, who's John Leguizamo in disguise. Yes. I was thinking, I thought Martin Sheen was Leguizamo.
Yeah, Martin Sheen, who by the way is wielding a Rob Liefeld-ass gun. Like,
oh yes,
it's just absurd.
Also, and I was gonna grab the audio and I didn't. Though your rental's good for 14 more days, so if you can
like
find
13 days.
He does the most stereotypical villain laugh at one point after doing he gives a speech about Heat 16 and then goes, yeah. I mean, he hits every H. Mm-hmm. Spawn is there in full Spawnitude.
Mm-hmm.
And Wanda has who he thinks is Wanda has a knife to her neck.
Yeah.
This is minutes after a training sequence, which he learns how to attack things from a distance with instantaneous chains. Uh-huh. Hey, John, what does he do in that scene?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just wasted 2 minutes of my life showing how effective that's. You trained for this exact moment, and you failed. You, sir, do not have the courage to be a Hellspawn.
And I cannot stress this enough. This is happening in a living room.
Oh, yeah,
like
true.
I understand maybe wanting to juxtapose what comes next, but like you couldn't have had this like even in their office, like some big bad guy off something. No, it's just in a living room that this grand final standoff between this knight of hell. And it's this well-appointed living room.
Yeah. So God, I don't know when it happens. Wait. Oh yeah. So he at one point, this might be out of order, but holds Martin Sheen down and Spawn magics the deadpan switch.
Yes, well, because he's able to get the better of him, and he's got Martin Sheen pinned down. Martin Sheen's like, you can't kill me.
You mean the magical monster from hell that can shoot chains at himself got the better of some guy in his early 50s?
An elderly man.
No shit. Wow, I'm shocked.
And has him down, and he's like, haha, I have this dead man switch. And yeah, Spawn just looks at his chest, is able to extricate the Sony Discman from his chest and blows it up. Whoo! How tense.
Just blowing that thing up probably should blow the stuff up. He just
Spawn magic.
But that causes
Wanda.
Who cares? They get sucked to hell. Cagliostro and him get sucked to hell. And this is an awkward...
Well, they jump into hell. Because Violator is Wanda. Like it's like, it starts kicking the shit out of Spawn. Is like, haha, I'm the violator the whole time. And then it jumps into the fire to go to hell.
Yeah.
And then Cagliostro, because Cagliostro shows up with his magic sword or whatever that he has, I guess.
No, it's his hand. His hand turns into the sword. Yeah. Well, no, but that's what we're saying, that he's Necro Goo too.
Right.
So why doesn't he have cool Spawn chains?
He's got the sword.
He
was Spawn before they invented the cool chains. He didn't get that up.
Wait, I wonder if his chainmail is him.
Yeah, because he puts it on. No, I mean, it's not because he puts it on.
Okay. So this just makes no sense.
Yeah, because which is great because he's like, we got to go after him, and then he puts on this dumb hat.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe the Snyder Cut would get answers.
Yeah. But then they jump into the fireplace on the way to hell because the movie has not shown you enough flame CG yet.
And this is a brilliant sequence. So Cagliostro just gets his ass kicked, and it's dumb. And we see Spawn kill, in quotes, Violator. While he's in hell.
Yes.
Now, it's obviously a feint. Well, maybe it's not obviously a feint, but yeah, whatever. Spawn, does he like suck up the other spawns with his chains to gain more power?
What he does, because Male Bolgia shows up, and surprisingly not thrilled about it.
Do you have Male Bolgia pattern baldness?
Yes. Yeah, it's very wispy.
Oh, I got kicked in by Male Bolgia. Oh!
And we mentioned on the last episode, I believe we made reference to just how great the CG is in this scene. You can probably just look it up on YouTube, but it is. The reason Male Bolgia's face looks like that is he saw the CG for this scene. Like it is jaw dropping and how terrible it is.
I can't stress this enough because we're shitting on this.
And
film
again,
fucking
22 different companies worked on the CG for this.
Because this is a movie you don't need to watch, but you need to see Male Bolgia. It is fucking hilarious.
It's so bad, and there's a bunch of other spawns, but not Spawn. I guess that's just what Hell's Army looks like.
Well, Spawn is short for Hell Spawn, I found out.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But so I guess they're all Hell Spawn.
Right, but it seemed like that was like, they wanted him to lead the armies, so it seemed like that would be like a title. Like Hell Knight is a character in Doom.
Generals still wear uniforms, bro.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Support the troops. Make America great again.
So there's all these other spawns that are basically background characters from Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
They're just like doing the same animation back and forth, which fine. Like limited.
As far as this movie's concerned,
fine.
Really, it's actually fine. It's not that distracting.
And so he kills Male Bolgia, and he kills Violator, and Male Bolgia's like, hey, that sucks. Even though I didn't like that guy.
Wait, can you say that without moving your lower jaw?
I have been.
Okay,
I'm speaking through hell. But he's like, you need to lead my armies of hell, and he's like, no, I still don't want to do that. And so he summons up all these other Spawn to go get him, and our Spawn shoots a laser out of his chest. Because again, that's what his powers are, is whatever he needs to do at the time.
Well, no, first he shoots chains into the other Spawns, and it seems like he's sucking their energy out.
Is that what happens? I thought he shot green out at them, and then it went through like lightning.
Oh, see, I thought it was chains hitting them and then it turning green. So I was reading it as like him taking the power of all the other Spawns.
Could be because they glance off of the point that whenever Spawn uses his powers, in the real world, that he only has a limited amount of power, and as soon as that power is all gone, he's Hell's forever. So he does. So there's that balance of I don't want to use my powers because I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
And they just kind of went like, oh yeah, you got this limited power, that's fine. So I don't know if that was him getting all the power back. And shooting off home.
He only has does his power does he have does the power meter refresh?
It shouldn't, but I think he was trying to.
No, in the comic, I was going to say in the real world. In the comic book, let's say he's got 100 power and he uses 50 power in one issue. In 3 issues later, if he uses no power, is he still at 50 or does he regain power?
No, I think it's a ticking time bomb.
So for the rest of his life, he only has 100 issuances of spawning.
Yes. Although at the end of the Super Nintendo game, Male Bolgia makes the power go back up, so you're trapped still as being the Spawn. It's a complicated lore that I don't care to remember.
I think you've mispronounced the word stupid and dumb and should never have existed.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
which is weird you'd say complicated in that, because it doesn't even sound like stupid and dumb and shouldn't have existed.
And then he just takes off and leaves Hell, and Male Bolgia, a basically Prince of Hell, an all-powerful demon, just kind of grabs after him a little bit and is like, yeah, that sucks, and let him go away. I got to be honest with you. I'm on the record with this. Hell kind of sucks.
Yeah.
This Hell is not that good.
You are correct. Now let me throw one back at you. When you leave Hell, you pop out of a chimney like Santa.
So every Christmas, Santa escapes from hell.
Santa, Satan. You think that's a coincidence?
Yeah. Ooh.
By the way, this is our Christmas episode.
Yeah. No,
Santa
I like
is
that.
Satan.
I like that. Santa escapes Satan's clutches to deliver toys.
Yes.
That's a lot better story than just like I live in a cold place.
So he gets back to Earth and everyone's like, hey, look, the main bad guy died really easily. I guess nothing's going to happen.
Yep.
And then the wall starts shimmering and the little girl's like, hey, look, the wall's shimmering. I shouldn't bring this to anybody's attention, even though I've just seen demons exist in front of my face.
Yeah, she's a kid.
Well, she's a fucking idiot. Violator shows back up for an epic battle. Oh, no, he chopped his head off.
Yep, the end.
It lasts about that long. And then Leguizamo goes, hey, Wanda, how about a little head, huh? No, let's think about that, John.
Nope,
We need
I'd rather not.
Yes, we do.
Let's just move on.
No, we can't because
Next time
his
we're
head,
gonna.
his head isn't little.
Yeah. But he is little. He himself is a short man.
He's short, but his head's human-sized.
Well, he doesn't feel that way. He feels pretty minuscule. I mean, that he's overcompensating clearly through the whole movie. So this is a good representation of that.
So you're saying that because he's a short man and was just decapitated, he wants to perform conolingus on Wanda.
No, I'm saying this is an expression of his saying little head is an
Yeah.
expression of his inner turmoil about himself.
Yeah,
I'm
but
very smart.
But he's got no dick. He's got no pink clown pony or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this movie fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's not good.
You know what really blows?
We've been talking about this for so long.
Okay, the movie ends. Now, John, I want you to pitch. Now, I know you've already seen this movie, so let's try to, forget how the movie actually finishes. What's the dumbest visual you could possibly imagine to finish a superhero movie on?
A coffee cup it's a teacup, I should say, and a person is drinking it, looking at a majestic.
Hey, we haven't covered that movie yet. No, that's for episode 100. Don't even fucking bring that up. Don't even fucking bring that up. You do not get to bring that up. That is
Okay.
for episode 100. You shut your mouth.
Okay.
You shut your whore mouth. The answer is Daredevil on top of a cathedral, leaning off of a cross. Except
okay.
if only somehow he had a 50-foot cloak hanging
Yeah,
off of him.
a giant cloak that really came in handy for a lot of this movie and was really central to the character.
I know you're not a big fan of the Marvel movies, but Doctor Strange's the cloak of whatever it is. Did you see his solo movie?
Nope.
There's a scene where basically the cloak does fighting for him because he's knocked out, and it's fun, and it's this is a magically
That
imbued
sounds great.
cloak.
That sounds like Aladdin's magic carpet.
Yeah, no, it's that same kind of fun, stupid nonsense, and it's played that way.
Sure.
Why not just do that? I mean, I guess
Because this is the
CGI
90s
was-
and it's dark and edgy.
No, it's not. There's
It's
fart
dark.
jokes.
Dark fart jokes.
The last thing the main villain says is, "How about a little head, Wanda?"
Oh,
Like,
dark. How about Little Head Wanda?
Oh God, this
you
movie.
don't expect that.
Yeah,
Superman wouldn't do that.
Yeah, he probably would. Hey, how about a CGI mustache ride, Wanda? That's what Superman would say. Because he had the CGI mustache.
You don't need to explain it.
I don't.
No,
Okay.
please don't.
Would you like me to explain what conolingus is?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh, really? Oh. That was Spawn. I watched the scenes with Malboja.
No,
They're-
I mean
they're-
just watch like Spawn Hellfighter, like YouTube
Yeah.
that.
Just
It
watch those scenes. They're funny.
Yeah.
Don't watch this movie.
No,
And
do not.
if you ever see Todd McFarlane, I'm not saying
Thank him.
Like, don't be violent to him, but if you could somehow threaten violence at him somehow, just make him flinch, that would make me happy.
I disagree. I would say that even as bad as this movie is, it does not undo how great his openings are for the Spawn cartoon.
Yeah, the Spawn cartoon is pretty good.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying his openings are just.
Oh, I don't remember his openings.
Oh,
I
they're
remember the
majestic.
cartoon, yeah.
Every episode starts with going into a basement where Todd McFarlane is wearing a black suit at a drawing table or something like that.
Oh, really?
And it's like, what if you had to make a split decision about your wife? And it's great.
That sounds terrible. I've only seen them on a compilation I rented from Hollywood
They're
Video.
on, if you got Amazon Prime there, you can just check them
Yeah,
out.
I'm not gonna. But when 2 years after that came out, when I rented them on VHS, those weren't on the VHS, and the cartoon I remember being
That's
quite
your
good.
loss because they are fantastic.
I think you're wrong about that.
You brought up Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. I have not seen Doctor Strange. And so that is a huge hole in my appreciation of Marvel, I've been told. And so I think we need to repair that by watching Dr. Mordred,
Of course.
a 90s era knockoff starring Jeffrey Combs, Yvette Nippar, and Brian Thompson. Heavy hitters all.
Fantastic. For those one or two of you that don't know, Of course, they are two beings from another dimension, two sorcerers with immeasurable powers. One has sworn to destroy the Earth, the other has vowed to protect it. We all know this.
Yes.
Bound by hate and a mystical amulet that holds the powers of life and death, the immortal wizards will meet for the last time. Now their battle takes on majestic proportions as Mordred and Cabal begin their final conflict.
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard it a million times before.
It's not what a movie's about, it's how it's about it. So this is going to be a classic, a new twist on a classic tale.
Yes. The classic tale of two wizards fighting to do whatever the hell bullshit I just said.
Yeah. Jeffrey Combs rules, and I'm very excited for
We're
this.
literally just watching this because John and I are both big Jeffrey Combs fans.
Yeah.
And, we didn't really, I mean, no one's listening at this point, but we're doing the Depression December kind of one-off superhero movies is the vague theme happening right now. So this is the continuation of that.
Yeah, this counts.
Dr. Mordred.
Dr. Mordred.
Yeah, that's fun. Remember, we're at Jaws Pod on Twitter because, I want to get to 10 followers.
We can do it. You can help make that happen.
Yes.
Don't give to the homeless or the needy.
I mean, it doesn't
Just
cost any.
give us follows.
It doesn't cost any money.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Hey, you know what costs?
How much better is that? How much better are we than the homeless? That this doesn't cost money to help us.
Speaking of not helping the homeless, Patreon.com/Alex Boland is my Patreon. And if you support it, it's early in the month right now. Support it. You get all sorts of stuff. There's extra audio between John and I.
Who doesn't want that?
There's a sex tape we posted back in June. Oh, I never took that down.
What?
Okay,
Who doesn't want that?
Don't even worry about it.
Everybody.
I'm going to tell you, you'll be surprised by what John's look like.
Yeah, it's true.
It's actually a belt buckle that bites my ankle. That's the entire sex tape. Patreon.com/Alex Boland. If you sign up because you like this show, leave a little message so I can give John some money because it's not like, that really matters, but I'm some weirdo that was grown up with Catholic guilt and don't like stealing things. Woo! Thank you very much for listening. I love all of you. And remember, take care of your necroplasm.